Good afternoon on the morning chat today. So, quick one today, based on a chat that I just had shortly before, actually, which is about fasting and snacking in the evening. So, the two generally often don't go together. Like fasting in the morning and expecting to feel in control in the evening. Often we see that as sometimes a fall of intermittent fasting. Not for everyone, of course, but if someone wants to get a handle on their evening snacking, then sometimes it's good to look at, okay, what's going on in the other parts of the day, because it might be psychological, e.g., you've got to know you. Like in the evening, and you get to the evening and you go, you know what, I didn't have breakfast today, so I can have a bit of that, have a bit of that, have a bit of that. And all of a sudden, the floodgates open and we end up eating perhaps more calories than we would have if we'd have had breakfast. And then often people say, yeah, but isn't fasting good for you? But then we've just offset any potential benefit that we'd have got from the fasting by having more in the evening than the morning. And my kind of challenge to you with this, if you're struggling with snacking in the evening as well, is to almost just give yourself permission to have your breakfast, whatever that is, whether that's protein-based, like a Greek yogurt or something like that, or even some porridge or whatever you have normally, because let's face it, it's probably going to be better than what you'd have in the evening. When the floodgates open, generally our willpower is lower in the evening, and we've got to generally use more strategies to feel in control of our food. So what I would say is give yourself permission to have breakfast, that meal, in the morning or in the evening, because generally people will mess up less often in the morning than they will in the evening. Now, this all come from the fact that, in this situation, and everything's individualized. They didn't want to track calories or anything like that. It's least intervention possible here. And we know that getting protein at breakfast subconsciously lowers your food intake across the day. Not to mention, if given a goal of muscle strengthening, toning, we need to make sure that, actually this could have a positive impact if we got another meal where we're going to prioritize some protein in there. Not to mention, if we're thinking about these small habits that will have a big difference from like day one to end of week, like that's all we're looking at to start with. Otherwise it's overwhelming and stressful. So if there's two things you take from that, try and get protein in at your breakfast. Research shows that subconsciously helps you eat less. Number two, in the evening, if you still get that urge, because let's face it, if you're in a habit of eating in the evening because it's psychological or even physiological, because perhaps it's the psychological causing this physiological response, just ask a question. Or rather, write down these two statements, almost like there's two of you. There's two Matts, if you like. Number one, I am choosing to have this snack because. Just write down the positives. Be aware of them. Number two, I am choosing not to have this snack right now because it doesn't align with the things that I say I want or who I want to become. Insert reasons why you want to stop snacking, because there must be a reason why. And that comes back then to, actually losing body fat, trying to do this is actually a privilege, not a kind of have to do that, not a chore, if you like. And research is quite interesting on this. It's often our perceptions of an event that impact how we feel rather than the event itself. Like, always ask the question, if whether you have a bad day, good day, what's positive about today? What's the best part of your day? There'll always be a best part. The more we can get into the habit of this, the best. It's something I ask my kids actually every day. What's the best part of your day? And the interesting thing is, if I just ask them without giving my best part of my day, they often just go, nothing. They'll go, nothing. Whereas I say, my best day was X, Y, Z, and this, and this. Sometimes they be a bit cheeky and say that was two things. But other time, then they'll go, my best part was this. They start to think about it. It's wiring the brain to go, I'm going to think about the positive part of that. So, that was this afternoon's ramble. I hope that helped, even if it's a tiny little bit, because actually that's what it's all about, that 1% progress every time. So any questions, let me know, and I will see you